Pareto chart. Pareto charts are often used to illustrate the famous 80-20 rule, pioneered by Wilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist who studied the distribution of wealth. He found that usually a small proportion of the people, about 20%, control the majority, about 80% of society's wealth. He created Pareto principle, and it simply means is to highlight the most important among a set of factors. Sometimes Pareto principle referred to as the 80-20 rule. Dr. Joseph Durans discovered that a small number of causes is generally responsible for a large percentage of the effect, the vital few and the trivial many or useful many. A Pareto chart is a combination of chart that the chart has a bar graphs as well as a line graphs where individuals' values are represented in descending order. Descending means from highest to lowest, or arranged with longest bars to the shortest bar. And take note, the cumulative total is represented by the line of the graph. And i-discuss ko yan mamaya sa steps ng paggawa ng Pareto chart. Understanding the Pareto principle. The 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, or the law of vital few and trivial many. It states that for many events, roughly 80% of the defects comes from 20% of the causes. The Pareto rule emphasizes the importance of few items in explaining a total. For example, in business, 80% of the work is carried out by 20% of the employees. In crime, 80% of crimes are committed by 20% of criminals. And in sale, 80% of sales and revenue are gathered by 20% of the customer. And last is 80% of the problems and events happen because of 20% of the causes and resources. For your better understanding what is 80-20 rule, let's watch this short video po.
So in 1906, Italian economist Wilfredo Pareto found that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. Now this 80-20 distribution became quite famous for occurring over and over again in many scenarios. For example, about 20% of the world's population control about 80% of the world's income. You wear about 20% of the clothes in your wardrobe about 80% of the time. About 20% of a business's customers account for 80% of their complaints. This is known as the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. Now as a note, this shouldn't be taken as some sort of universal law that occurs in all situations. Exceptions can be made and one should always be critical. But that being said, it's an extremely effective tool to analyze your own life and be more productive. Let's look at an example. Imagine you have a daily to-do list with 10 things to do every day. Using the Pareto principle, you want to figure out what are the 2 most important things that will give you the majority of your results. And once you figure this out, you want to spend 80% of your effort on these 2 things and the rest on the remaining 8 things to do. This means that even if you don't manage to complete most of the things you wanted to do, you at least get the important things out of the way. The concept is very simple, but the ways you can apply it are endless. The point here isn't the numbers, but rather to simplify your life and focus on what truly matters. Know someone who needs to improve their productivity? Share this with them and give us some love by hitting that like button. And if you want to see more, just subscribe.
Okay. Hope you all listen sa video po dahil kahit short lang yung video, malaki pa din ang impact sa atin yan to improve our productivity with the help of 80-20 rule. Let's move on na. When to use a Pareto chart? We use Pareto chart when we were analyzing data about the frequency of problems or causes in a process. When there are many problems or causes and you want to focus on the most significant, and when analyzing broad causes by looking at their specific components. And last is to when communicating with others about your data. Steps of making Pareto charts and examples. Example number 1. In an international airport, many flights delayed for a day. An airport manager wanted to resolve the problem. So the following tables gives the information about the number of flights delayed due to the different reasons. So let's have the manager to solve the problem. We have here the reason of check-in problem, which is number of flights 60. Fuel problem 90 flights. Late passenger 250. Luggage missing 350. Not enough crew member 200. Pilot is not available 30. Runway IDs not clear 35. Technical problem 125. Weather problem 70 and other 10. Step 1. Place data set in descending order. Kung kanina sa kabilang slide, naka-jumbled na yung mga reasons and number of flights, dito naka-descending order na, which is from highest to lowest, or largest number to the smallest number. And that's it. Let's proceed na sa step 2. In step 2, let's calculate the total frequency, which is, ipagpa-plus lang natin yung number of flights. So, 350 plus 250 plus 200 plus 125 plus 90 plus 70 plus 60 plus 35 plus 30 then plus 10 is equal to 1,220. F3, cumulative frequency. So, dito, ipagpa-plus natin yung cumulative frequency sa number of lights. But first, let's copy the 350 muna. So, 350 plus 250 is equal to 600. Then 600 plus 200 is equal to 800. 800 plus 125 is equal to 925. 925 plus 90 equals 1,015. 1,015 plus 70 equals 1,085. 1,085 plus 60 is equal to 1,145. 1,145 plus 35 equal 1,180. 1,180 plus 30 is equal to 1,210. Then 1,210 plus 10 is equal to 1,220. So, last step na. Step 4, divide by total frequency. Dito, sa cumulative frequency, ito total natin yung number dito sa total of number of flights na 1,220. So, 350 divide 1,220 equals 29%. Bali, 2 decimal na kukunin natin dito. So, magiging 29%. Then, 600 divide 1,220 is equal to 49%. Then 800 divide 1,220 is equal to 66%. 925 divide 1,220 is equal to 76%. 1,015 divide 1,220 is equal to 83%. 1,085 divide 1,220 is equal to 89%. 1,145 divide 1 to 20 is equal to 94%. 1,180 divide 1,000 to 20 is equal to 97%. 1,210 divide 1,220 is equal to 99%. And last, 1,220 divide 1,020 is equal to 1, which is equivalent to 100. So, 100%. Okay, for the procedures, we were going to draw the graph and it has two axes. So, ito yung y-axis on the left-hand side, x-axis, and then we've got another y-axis on the right-hand side. On this side, sa kanang bahaging ito, dito nakalagay yung percentage. So, yung example natin kanina is yung ilalagay natin, which is the percentage cumulative frequency. But let it start on 0%, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, 100, and 120%. Dito, pwede kahit anong number ninyo simulan. For example, pwedeng 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Pwede. It's up to you. So, dito naman sa kabila, sa left-hand side, dito nakalagay yung frequency of issue occurs, which is the number of flights delayed. So, mag-i-start tayo sa 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, and 400. Dito kahit anong number nyo din simulan. Basta yung umpisa at dulo ng bilang ng issue is nandoon nandito sa y-axis na ito. And then, along the bottom, isusulat natin yung reasons or defects or categories of issues by descending order. So, luggage missing, late passenger, not enough crew member, technical problem, fuel problem, weather problem, check-in problem, runway ID is not clear, pilot is not available, and other. And before we apply the 80-20 rule, let's get the line graph muna. So, the blue bars is the number of mobile defects, and yung orange line na may dot or bullet is the cumulative percentage or percentage cumulative frequency. So, ang unang munang gagawin dito is maglalagay ng dot dito sa tapat ng cumulative percentage. And dito sa display, we have the 29%. So, susukatin natin. Then, tuldok or bullet. Next is 49%. Then 66%, 76%, 83%, and so on hanggang pumunta sa 100. And take note nga pala, the last dot should reach 100%. So next is i-draw na natin yung line graph. And ito na yung kakalabasan niya. Okay, so apply na natin yung 80-20 rule. Hahanapin natin yung 80% dito sa cumulative percentage, and then kung saan tumapat na bar, yung dot. So, here, hahatiin na natin, and that's it. Meron na tayong 80-20, which is the vital few and trivial many. And in conclusion, from this Pareto chart, we can see that most of the flights delayed due to the luggage missing, late passenger, not enough crew member, and technical problem. So, if the airport manager calls a meeting related to about 4 problems to improve the flight delayed situation, it can be solved up to 80%. And that's how 80-20 rule works. Example number 2. A mobile manufacturer is assembled by importing various parts of mobile. During the day, company receives many non-functioning mobile for repairing, which are under the warranty period. Using the data in the following table, it helps the company to improve the production of company by reducing repairing work in a day by using a Pareto chart. So let's ask the manager to decide which raw material provider should improve the quality of material. So the failure of the computer before warranty period can be prevented. So we have here the reasons of failure. We have the charging port, SIM slot, camera, display, battery, flashlight, headphone jack, adapter, RAM, and other problem. So, dito yung reasons of failure, naka-jumbled, and then yung number of mobiles defect, naka-jumbled pa. So, as the step 1, we should set the data into descending order. So, this is the descending order. The display is 500, SIM slots 300, other problem 100, and so on. And for the step 2 is to get the total of number of mobiles defect. So, papaplas lang natin yan. Yung 500 plus 300 plus 100 is equal to 1,215. And next is the step 3, cumulative frequency. So, dito, ipagpa-plus lang natin yung cumulative frequency sa number of mobiles defects. So, kapin muna natin yung 500, then 500 plus 300 is equal to 800. Then, 800 plus 100 equals 900. 900 plus 95 equals 995. And so on hanggang matapos. For the last step, step 4 is to divide by total frequency. I-divide natin yung cumulative frequency sa total of number of defects ng mobile. So, 500 divided 1,215 is equal to 41%. And 800 plus 800 divide 1,215 divide it is equal to 66%. And then 900 divide 1,215 is equal to 74%. 995 divide 1,215 is equal to 82%. Hanggang sa umabot na nga sa 100%. And after that, ilipat naman natin siya sa graph, which is what we call Pareto chart. So, ito yung kakalabasan niya. Same as lang kanina sa ginawa natin sa example number 1. And for the 80-20 rule, kayo ang maghahanap. Activity ninyo yan. At yung conclusion ninyo sa ginawang Pareto chart. So, that's it. Thank you.